Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome for joining us here for Awakening Heart Online Sangha. Um, we're all adjusting or doing our best to adjust to this new normal. Hope, Hopefully, it won't be the normal for very long, but we'll be in touch. We'll be connected as much as we can through these very useful internet options. So today we're going to follow pretty much the same format that we do every Sunday night. We'll begin in a minute with our opening affirmation and inviting you, if you like, to check in by leaving a little note that we can see on the chat. And then later, after we've had the talk, we will switch to a different format so that we can all share and see one another as we share. So thank you, Catherine, for checking in, and we're grateful that you're here. So let's invite the bell to get us started so that we can just calm and breathe together. So let's enjoy 3 sounds of the bell. So for those of you that are very familiar with our opening affirmation, you can join in on the part that we usually say in unison. And I will begin with the first part. Noble community, we gather here now to honor the way of peace and nonviolence, the way of wisdom and compassion, the way of joy and beauty, in solidarity with one another, with all humanity, and with all life on earth. Friends on the path, we gather here now to deepen our solidity like a mountain and to renew our freshness like a flower. Through mindful sitting and walking, mindful singing and breathing, and mindful speaking and listening. Sisters and brothers of awakening, we gather here now to celebrate the one infinite light that shines through many religions, many cultures, many teachers, to practice the teachings of our ancestral teachers, including Siddhartha Gautama, the Shakyamuni Buddha, and of our contemporary teachers, including Thich Nhat Hanh, and to affirm our faith in the capacity within ourselves and all persons to realize full and complete enlightenment. So if you'd like to check in and leave a note in the chat box, that would be super. And in the meantime, I will talk a little bit about some pointers for this different format. Um, as I said before, basically we'll be doing it the same way that we always do it, but there will be a few modifications because of the setting that we're in. Obviously, we will not do walking meditation, although certainly you're welcome to walk whenever you like, if you can find a place like within your house or just outside to walk for 5 or 10 minutes. But I know that many of us are struggling, and one of the ways that we can really connect with one another is through this the chant, the Medicine Buddha chant, which I know means a lot to many of you. So let's do the Medicine Buddha chant. One thing that I neglected to bring over here is the Shruti. So Cornell is going to get that for me. Do you want to get the little froggy thing? It's in that bottom drawer. So, in case you don't remember, it starts out Om Namo Bhagavate by Shaja Guru. So, Om Namo Bhagavate by Shaja Guru by Durya Prabharajaya Tathagataya Arhate Samyak Sambuddhaya Tadyata Om Vaishashe Maha Vaishashe Raja Samudate Swaha Om Namo Bhagavate Vaishasha Guru Vaidurya Prabharajaya Tathagataya Arhate Samyak Sambuddhaya Tadyata Om Vaishashe Maha Vaishashe Raja Samugate Swaha Om Namo Bhagavate Vaishasha Guru Vaidurya Prabharajaya Tathagataya Arhate Samyak Sambuddhaya Tadyata Om Vaishashe Maha Vaishashe Raja Samugate Swaha. Thank you, dear friends. So I'd like to talk a little bit about the meditation that we're going to do in a moment. This will be a guided meditation, and it may be a slightly different format than some of you are accustomed to, so let me explain a little bit. This guided meditation will use the bell quite a bit to signal when you will hear some guidance and then when you will have some practice time to practice whatever was guided. So it goes like this. You will hear a sort of a thunk. And then I will give some guidance, giving you something you can focus your attention on. And after that, I will say a word or two to help as you breathe in and breathe out. It might say something like, the two words might be calm and smile. So as you breathe in, you would think calm, and as you breathe out, you would think smile. After a minute or two of that practice, you will hear back up. Before you begin your practice, you'll hear a full sound of the bell. And then you will practice the suggested guidance. Then eventually there will be another stop with more guidance and time to practice. So that's how it goes. So let's all begin by settling into our meditation posture, whether you're sitting on a chair, a cushion, or even lying down. Just pick a spot where you can sit and be still and be relatively undisturbed for the next 20 or 25 minutes. Let's enjoy the contemplation before sitting, before we begin our meditation. The Sangha is invited to go back to our breathing so that our collective energy of mindfulness brings us together as an organism, going as a river with no more separation. Let the whole Sangha breathe as one body, generate peace as one body, be free as one body. Let us liberate ourselves from the delusion of a separate self. Letting go of the need for a superiority complex, an inferiority complex, or an equality complex. You might like to gently close your eyes. And as we continue to settle into our meditation, see if you can picture tossing a stone into a lake or a stream. When the stone first hits the water, it creates ripples that expand across the surface, sort of like the way thoughts create ripples of more thoughts in your mind. But the stone doesn't stay on top of the water. It slowly, effortlessly sinks to the bottom of the lake or the stream and settles quietly into the soft bed of the lake, the stream. Be like that stone, allowing your body to settle gently, effortlessly into your chair, your cushion, your meditation space. Thoughts and sensations will continually arise on the surface of your mind, but the ripples cannot disturb your deep stillness and calm. From this place of inner stillness, we will begin our meditation. Breathing in, I feel my chest rise as my lungs fill with fresh air. Breathing out, I feel my chest fall as my lungs release stale air. Chest rising, chest falling, rising, falling. Breathing in, I relax all the cells in my two eyes. Breathing out, I release all the tension in my two eyes. Relaxing eyes, releasing tension. Relaxing, releasing. Breathing in, I allow my whole face to soften. Breathing out, I smile to my face. Soft face, smile. Soft face, smile. Breathing in, I relax my shoulders, dropping any burdens I may be carrying. Breathing out, I smile. Relaxing shoulders, smile. Relaxing shoulders, smile. Breathing in, I release tension and discomfort in my whole torso. Breathing out, I smile, releasing tension. Smile, releasing tension. Smile. Breathing in, I allow my hips to sit comfortably on my cushion, my chair. Breathing out, I rest. Sit comfortably, rest. Sit comfortably, rest. Breathing in, I relax every cell in my legs, knees, ankles, feet, and toes. Breathing out, I smile to my legs, knees, ankles, feet, and toes. Relaxing, smiling. Relaxing, smiling. Breathing in, I'm aware of my inner stillness. Breathing out, I smile. Inner stillness, smile. Inner stillness, smile. Breathing in, I send my love and appreciation to my whole body. Breathing out, I smile. Love and appreciation, smile. Love and appreciation, smile. Breathing in, I feel still and calm. Breathing out, I feel peaceful, still and calm, peaceful, still and calm, peaceful. Please enjoy the next few minutes of silence, resting in this calm, peaceful stillness. be free. May all beings be joyful. May all beings be at peace. May all beings be at peace. Brahma Vihara Maitri. Brahma Vihara Maitri. Brahma Vihara Karuna. Brahma Vihara Karuna. Brahma Vihara Mudita. Brahma Vihara Mudita. Brahma Vihara Rupeksha. Brahma Vihara Rupeksha. May all beings be happy. May all beings be free. May all beings be joyful. May all beings be joyful. May all beings be at peace. 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 I always have trouble talking after a really nice meditation. It seems like the words are not important anymore. But we will continue to talk to you, I promise. So usually when we are here together, we do something called a refuge chant. We pay homage to our teachers, the teachings, and the community. And so let's just take a moment, and perhaps if you'd like, you can repeat after me in the privacy of your own home. So just to say, I take refuge in the teachers, those who show us the way in this life.
I take refuge in the teachers, those who show us the way in this life.
I take refuge in the teachings, the way of understanding and of love.
I take refuge in the teachings, the way of understanding and of love.
I take refuge in this community, those who live in harmony and awareness. I take refuge in this community, those who live in harmony and awareness. So we've come to the part of our day, our afternoon, when we will hear a talk. So we're joined today by Michael Ferraro, who is the president of our board of directors. And Michael wants to share with you, he called it the upside of isolation. And I think that's a really good topic. So I'm kind of interested to hear what he has to say about that. So I'm going to sort of pass the baton to Michael. You'll see a little bit of a sway while we move. Don't fall down, guys.
Let me fix my hair. Thank you, Bobby. Hello, everyone. So, what to talk about? So many possibilities. Well, we might as well get the obvious out of the way first. As I think we all know, the world has changed permanently. And with that, each of us has changed permanently as well. And no one knows what the future holds right now. This could be both a scary thought and possibly an exhilarating one, depending upon how you feel about change. This is a unique time, both in our country's history and in all of our lives. I'd been scheduled to give this talk for some time before the world seemingly turned upside down. And I was going to continue our theme of being safely together. But under the circumstances, I thought it would be more helpful to try to talk about something more relevant. Being the optimist that I am, I thought, how could anything good possibly come out of all this? I think this upheaval will last for a long time and will continue to have many challenging consequences. Yet, I can't help but think about my own life experience. Every time something bad happened to me, I felt like I came out of it stronger and better prepared for the next challenge. The Dalai Lama said, "It is under the greatest adversity that there exists the greatest potential for doing good, both for oneself and others." And so, while I don't have an official title for what I'm going to talk about, I mentioned to Bobby something about the upside of isolation, so I guess that's what I'll call it. To begin with, we're all in uncharted waters. This is new territory for literally everyone. This is perhaps the most important thing we all have in common. No one can say they've been through anything like this before. We've all had our lives disrupted, our routines obliterated by the unprecedented efforts to slow this wildfire spread of coronavirus. The world seems upside down, and we're all deep into it every day. In our Sangha, we talk about suffering a lot and how to alleviate it. Recently, those ideas have been brought home to each of us hard and fast. The Four Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path are going to get quite a workout, as are the 5 mindfulness trainings. There are so many things going haywire, it's hard to know what to focus on. It seems to me the biggest issues are uncertainty and fear. I know when someone tells me to stay calm and don't panic, my instinct is to do just the opposite. We're all living in some form of isolation. Whether you're separated, segregated, quarantined, or confined, we're living in a restricted bubble. We understand the reason for this, and I think most of us agree with it, despite all the wrenching consequences. Most of us are feeling some level of anxiety, depression, sadness, and loneliness. Our energy and motivation might be low. We may not be eating or sleeping well. I'm not going to suggest to you what to do while you're isolated. There's plenty of that out there already. Work on yourself, learn something new, etc., etc. Actually, there's been some very creative things that people have been doing, and some of it's pretty funny. Um, if you haven't seen the group of Italians on their balconies singing the Rihanna song, uh, that's worth a look. Also, there's a guy somewhere who is a marathon runner, and since he can't go outside, he ran a marathon on his balcony. Something about balconies, I guess. So, as I said, I'm not going to suggest to you what to do. What I am going to suggest to you is how to be. By that, I mean what state of mind would be helpful to you. First, allow yourself to feel what you feel. Let's talk about emotions for a bit. Most of us have been all over the board with our emotions. Many of us have a natural tendency to suppress or hold in what we think are negative emotions. Feelings such as anxiety, depression, and sadness, all of which are perfectly normal feelings right now. As someone once said, resistance is futile. You cannot control your emotions. They are going to happen whether you want them to or not. There's a saying in psychology that what you resist persists. The more you turn away from your feelings, the more you try to keep them in check, the more intense they will become, the longer they will last, and the more they will affect you. We also have a natural tendency to judge our emotions. How many times have you thought, I shouldn't feel that way? Or I don't want to feel that way? The reality is that emotions are not facts, and all emotions are neutral. There are no good ones or bad ones. Every emotion stands on its own, just as an emotion. Happy is not good, and sad isn't bad. They're just emotions. But our natural tendency is to judge ourselves, and this also makes it worse. You can't control your feelings. You can't make yourself not feel a certain way. Go ahead and try it, and you'll see what I mean. Emotions are also temporary. They are, as we say, impermanent. Every emotion you feel will eventually go away on its own and be replaced by another one. So the best thing to do is open up to how you feel, let it run its course, and don't judge it. Next, there's been a lot of talk about how you can use this time for self-improvement. I say, don't do it. I say, don't aim for better or wiser. Aim for different. It's too unrealistic to focus on self-improvement right now. It's too much pressure, and it takes too much valuable energy. Aim for becoming a different person. So how can you do that? One way is to think about what your most important needs are. Needs that you can fulfill for yourself without involvement of anyone else. In my work, I've been amazed at how many people have never given this serious thought. Trust your instincts. Ask yourself, what do I need most? Sit with that and feel what comes up. The answers won't come right away. It will take a few tries. But eventually, what comes up will most likely reflect your most important needs. One thing to remember is that the magnitude of this pandemic has changed all of us anyway. Many of us are different right now, and we will all be different when this is over. The opportunity is to be different in a way that makes you a better person. Next, something that I think is extremely important, and that is self-compassion. Self-compassion is a necessity. It's a requirement. You know, the golden rule is a two-way street. The one way we've always heard is do unto others as you would have others do unto you. The other way is do unto yourself the way you do unto others. So there are three elements of compassion, and this is the basis for this. What I'm going to tell you is based on research, quite a lot of research that's been done on self-compassion. First element is self-kindness. We talk a lot about being kind to others, and we tend to treat others more kindly than we treat ourselves. Who is more deserving of kindness than you? No one. The second element is common humanity. We're all doing the best we can, especially you. Acknowledge that. We're no better and no worse than anyone else. Recognize the similarities among all people and accept that others are doing their best. Third element, mindfulness. What a surprise. I think we all know what that means, to be in the present moment without judgment or expectations. Putting this in the context of self-compassion enables us to have more balance in our lives and feel more equanimity. So putting these three elements together, self-kindness, common humanity, and mindfulness, makes us stronger and more resilient. It enables us to take care of ourselves so that we have the ability to help others. Speaking of resilience, we need to cultivate resilience through practice. Resilience means to overcome adversity. It requires inner strength. We all have the capability to be resilient. One thing you can do is change the narrative through expressive writing. Research tells us that expressive writing is therapeutic, and my experience confirms that. Start writing down your strongest thoughts and feelings. Write longhand on paper or in a journal. Do not type. It can be words, phrases, or complete sentences. It doesn't matter. Just get something down. It's a safe method to express your deepest thoughts and feelings. Next, face your fears by acknowledging them. This will take some of their power away. There's a tremendous amount of fear in the air right now. What is your greatest fear right now? Becoming sick? Losing your job? The health of an elderly relative? Not being able to pay your bills? Give it some thought. When you've identified that fear, just sit with it. Bring it into your awareness. Allow yourself to feel it. Doing this should give the fear less power over you. It's still a fear, but hopefully less scary. Next step in resilience is to practice self-compassion in the way that I've already talked about. Next is meditate. Again, what a surprise. Use what you already know how to do. We know the many benefits of meditation: calmness, stress tolerance, mindfulness, peace. Use the time at home to become more consistent with your meditation practice. And lastly, cultivate forgiveness for what you're holding on to. In view of what's happening right now, how important is that grievance, that grudge, in the scheme of things. So, to cultivate resilience, change the narrative, face your fears by acknowledging them, practice self compassion, meditate, and cultivate forgiveness. If you can do these things during and after this upheaval, imagine how resilient you'll be in the future. Next, there's something that's often overlooked, even though it's right in front of us, and that is take in the good. Our brains have a built in negativity bias that goes back to the origin of the human race. Back then, one threat could be fatal. So our brains evolved to focus on threats for survival, not good experiences. Even now, that's made us pay more attention to negative experiences than positive ones. It takes some work to dwell on the positive, but it's worth it. Find one positive thing that you've done recently. Again, bring it into your awareness and be with it. Allow it to soak in. Think about it for several minutes. Feel the goodness wash over you and enjoy that. The more you dwell on positive experiences, the more you will change your brain's wiring to counteract the negativity bias. Over time, it's actually possible to have a positivity bias. And now, more than ever, this Sangha is a refuge. We chant this every Sunday. We just talked about it here. We explained what it means. And I'm going to end with what Thich Nhat Hanh said about the practice of Sangha in a talk he gave in 2002. Thich said, "When I say I take refuge in the Sangha, it does not mean that I want to express my devotion. No, it's not a question of devotion. It's a question of practice. Without being in a Sangha, without being supported by a group of friends who are motivated by the same ideal and practice, we cannot go far." Whenever we find ourselves in a difficult situation, 2 or 3 friends in the Sangha who are there for us, understanding and helping us, will get us through it. Even in our silent practice, we help each other. Our collective energy is still there. It doesn't depend on physical presence. Let me repeat that. It doesn't depend on physical presence. As long as we practice for the Sangha, we will stay strong, and we will learn from this extraordinary experience. If we use our practice to receive the collective energy of the Sangha, we will have a powerful source of energy for our own transformation and healing. So, as a summary, feel what you feel. Aim for different. Practice self-compassion. Cultivate resilience. Take in the good, and keep our Sangha as a refuge. Amitabha.
Oh, thank you so much, Michael. That was wonderful. Um, Thinking about what you said about the Sangha and our collective energy, um, I don't know if some of you may have felt this when we were meditating together, but I did feel your collective energy. And it was it actually kind of made me tear up because it felt so real and so loving. So I have no doubt that we are creating this really big, huge, actually, powerful collective energy. And just like in the beginning, where I talked about a stone that you throw in the water creates those ripples, we have created ripples of kindness and compassion and love that will spread from here. We really want to hear your thoughts now. And so trans we're going to transfer.
After we finish.
Oh, okay. Um, I was just told after we finish, in other words, after we do our closing and all of that, we will transition to a different platform, and you can join us there to talk to one another. You can actually see one another and talk to one another. So I want to just say to we've had quite a few responses in our chat room. So let me just acknowledge some of you. Um, so thank you to Catherine for practicing with us and Eva. Luis says he's grateful to join via live stream. It's good to hear from Harry Boot. Um, Bell Garden, very nice little email name. He likes or she likes the medicine Buddha chant. And Luis sent us an Om. We heard from Kwan, from Neil, and Billy, Jennifer Landon. Jennifer's thanking me and Michael for the guidance and the teachings. And Billy is asking, will there be a Q&A? And the answer to that is yes. After we do our closing chant and the official chant part, ending part of this part of the service, then we will go on the Zoom platform where you can ask questions, share your thoughts. And I do hope all of you will stay online for that because I would love to hear from you. And I think Michael would like to hear from you too, and maybe take some of your questions. Let's go to the closing chant. Countless beings we vow to free, ceaseless afflictions we vow to end, limitless doors we vow to open, the deepest paths of awakening we vow to realize. Before we head to Zoom, let's hear from Miles.
Hey everyone, I know y'all have been seeing a lot of me this week. For those of you who are plugging into the live streams, I'm really glad that Cornell and the rest of the team has gotten the Zoom room together because I think it'll be good. I know y'all are missing the interactivity of the community. But that being said, I'm really happy to see 18 of y'all online right now, and knowing that community doesn't depend on our physical proximity in the same room. But that being said, at the same time as the community is no longer meeting in the Dallas Meditation Center, we still have the same operational costs for running the Dallas Meditation Center. And so even if you're not coming in the door and donating in the jar that way, you still have the opportunity to donate online through the Dallas Meditation Center website, which should be in the description below. You can donate a one-time donation of any amount. It's always appreciated. Or sign up for monthly donations so that you can set it up and forget it. It is important that we come together to practice, but at the same time, in the very real world that we live in, the Dallas Meditation Center also depends on its financial stability. You can also donate by phone in the 21st century. One of the cool things about technology, and the information for that should be in the description. I believe you text mindful to the number 44321. And if y'all donate, comment below the video whenever you do donate, and I'm happy to give you a shout out and say a big thank you on the Zen to Go noon meditations that I've been doing Monday through Friday, and I guess that's just what we're going to keep doing for now, because I'm not doing anything better. Hope to see y'all tomorrow at noon. You have another opportunity with Bobby tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. The young adult group is still running Tuesday night, 7 and 9 p.m. Central. Wednesday night group is running 7:30 to 9 p.m. Central. So the programming's still on. And your participation is always appreciated. Your donations are needed in order for this to shelter through the storm, so to speak. It's good to see y'all. I'll see y'all tomorrow at noon.
So are we ready to transition?
Mhm.
So
Tell them to click the Zoom link in the chat.
Cornell says, click the Zoom link in the chat.
And click like and subscribe to this YouTube channel.
Yes,
Click like and subscribe to this YouTube channel.
must.
Okay. So I'm going to,
Hey, everybody, thumbs up if you can hear me. I see no thumb. Thank you, Billy. Okay. And Bobby, if you can click that link, you can get onto
I
Zoom
can't
too.
find the
It's
link.
in your email as well. So, hey, everybody.
Email.
Good to see you here. And so just a few things about the logistics of this, since it's a little bit different than seeing each other in person. Mostly you're all muted, or I will mute you if you unmute yourself sometimes, just so we don't have echo and feedback. We'll see how it works. If I can see you, I can sort of see a hand waving at me. There's also a hands thing. I'll drive you just a little bit. This will be quick. If you kind of